не добавит безопасности, предсказуемости.
Russia is fuming after French President Emmanuel Macron said he is open to discussing a nuclear shield for Europe. The Kremlin warned on Wednesday that deploying French nuclear bombers across Europe would not bring more security. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters that such a move would only undermine stability. He said, and I quote, "The proliferation of nuclear weapons on the European continent is something that will not add security, predictability, or stability." The backlash came a day after Macron floated the idea on national television. In a wide-ranging interview on TF1, the French president said he's ready to open discussions about extending France's nuclear deterrent to cover the European Union. Macron drew parallels with the United States' current nuclear posture. He pointed out that the US already stations nuclear bombs in several allied countries like Belgium, Germany, Italy, and Turkey. He said, and I quote, "We are ready to open this discussion. I will define the framework in a very specific way in the weeks and months to come. France is the only EU country with nuclear weapons. With Russia's war in Ukraine continuing and US President Donald Trump repeatedly urging Europe to defend itself more independently, Macron's comments reflect a growing push for European security autonomy." But Moscow sees things differently. Russia, which possesses the world's largest nuclear arsenal, around 4,000 warheads, views France's move as a potential threat. Peskov said global strategic stability is already in bad shape. He stated, and I quote, "At present, the entire system of strategic stability and security is in a deplorable state for obvious reasons." End quote. Since invading Ukraine, Russian President Vladimir Putin has issued several nuclear threats. Western governments have strongly condemned this rhetoric, calling it reckless and dangerous. And Macron's TV interview didn't stop at nuclear talk. He also pushed for more economic pressure on Moscow. He said if Russia continues to ignore ceasefire demands in Ukraine, new sanctions should follow. He said, and I quote, "Our intention is to impose new sanctions against Russia in the coming days." End quote. He added that financial services and the oil and gas sectors could be targeted. France, he said, is working closely with allies on this plan. Macron's remarks echoed those of German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. Earlier on Tuesday, Merz said Europe would push for significant tightening of sanctions if Putin doesn't agree to halt the fighting in Ukraine. As the war drags on, Europe's diplomatic and security posture is shifting, and Macron's nuclear proposal may just mark a new chapter in that strategy, one that Moscow is watching very closely.